Our last panelist is the president and founder of Tekletics. You've heard his name 20 times so far, Mr. Dan Jones, actually also an athlete, former athlete way back when, football player, offensive lineman for Arizona State. So Dan, why are you so passionate about the Next Gen IT program?
Well, it starts back from my background. I came out of a situation where Coach Cush offered me a scholarship. It's kind of emotional because I had really nowhere to go. And my athletic skills, gave me the ability to get an opportunity to go to ASU to learn. I was walking from practice with Coach Cush. Him and I kind of bonded. We had similar backgrounds when we grew up. He grew up in the coal mines, and I grew up basically in really a very desolate area where, my brothers always say the people that had food stamps were upper middle class. So I was walking with Coach Cush, and I said, I want to be a coach. And he said, no, you don't. You don't want to be a coach. There's no money in coaching. Big mistake I made. But anyway, he said, you need to get in the IT field. So I got in the IT field and spin that forward about 40 years. My parents died in my 20s, so he kind of took over that role and provided me advice. And I met with him at Carson golfing in 2011. And he asked me what I was doing, and I told him, what we were doing is at that time building people in the Midwest to kind of in the same thing, but not the same model now. This model is way advanced. I think it's world class. What Rob and ASU has done, and what the patriarchs that you heard on the phone, Steve Zelstra, Chris Camacho, the vision that these men have had, and especially Chris and Steve, the vision they had for Arizona and the caring that they have about Arizona. Coach Cush gave me the ability to meet these people through different sources and that's why I said, Steve says I chased him down. Chris and I met at a restaurant across the street from GPEC, and they had very similar visions. And Steve gave me a thesis that he had ASU and him put together to build this entire idea of how we could help corporations within the Valley. And the corporations, basically, all of the things that are true today were true then. And so I told Chris and Steve that I would go on this mission to build this. And Coach Cush he said Arizona's the place to do it. And he was a real humanitarian. He wanted to help people. And I've always believed that if you give someone the ability to succeed and to achieve in life, they will be successful. And it's all like Casey said, it's about hard work, talent. And there's so many people in this country that don't get a chance to show their talent. If it wasn't for me having talent in athletics, I could have went, I'd have had to go in the military like my other three brothers. I'm the only one to graduate from high school out of, my family. My dad graduated 8th grade. So it's like you got a situation where so many people in this country deserve an opportunity. And I believe this is the opportunity that it gives them. And I believe that talent is within the person. And that's what we search for. We search for that talent, that go-getterness, no different than Frank did, who won multiple championships at ASU. The field's named after him. It's that same background and capability that we want to get into our recruits and our juniors that we bring in. And, you got two of them on here. You got Christy Hill and you got Maddie on here. Here's people who took the challenge, have stepped in, and are advancing their life. We have so many others, like the person that we said is a welder, the one at 24 Hour. It's incredible to see these people. I guess the passion that I have is, like Chris said, it's helping others. I have a whole other plan to how we can bring along people that, there are kids in high school that are sitting there that don't know what to do or where to go because no one's coming and knocking on their door. I was lucky. They say, well, you got financial aid. You got all these programs. When I was that poor kid, I didn't know what financial aid was. We didn't talk about college. We didn't talk about those things. Where do you go look for that? How do you get that? How do you get to school? Well, you know what? This program is going to elevate those people. And we need to get the word out, and we need the companies in Arizona to step up. This is a time where we spend a lot of time, Steve and Chris and everybody, not just me, Rob, ASU. Everybody's been involved in this. I've just been the architect and leveraging really talented folks and tremendous visions across Arizona to build something that I think is not only world class in the United States, but in Arizona, it's number one. And I think that anybody that has seen it across the country would say the same thing. No one I have talked to anywhere in the country, and I think Rob would agree from ASU, has done anything close to this. We take people from a pool of people. The trick is we don't have an IT resource pool. We have the entire fishbowl. We have the United States. We have Arizona. We have all of this talented people that we take the tender loving care to develop. And I guess that's my passion.